Welcome back to the Black Star video. Today we're going to talk about the attack on crypto and the US dollar. Is it failing? The brick? What's the danger? Let's talk about it. Let's get it. So right now there's major hype in regards to the US dollar, the brick, leaving the US dollar, fractionalizing itself. So it's Brazil, Russia, India, and China. All these countries are formalizing together or forming together to separate themselves from the US dollar. What does that mean to you and me living in the US? Also, is the US attacking crypto? Do they want to not regulate it and make crypto illegal? Let's talk about it. Let's get it. So at the time making this video, we look at the DXY, which is the Dixie's actual dollar index average. And right now the dollar is trading at $1.01, which is a little bit above what a dollar should be, which is actually pretty decent. If we look at the euro versus the dollar right now, the dollar is down by 10 cents or 9.5 cents at this moment, which is down further than what it was not too long ago. Historically, the euro is always worth more than a dollar because the European Union formalized together to make their own currency, which became the euro. So the dollar was never more valuable than the euro for a long period of time. The fact that it's only just about 10 cents less than the euro is actually pretty decent. But let's see what happens as time goes on, because this can get ugly with the brick now formalizing and the European Union also entering in with the brick to kind of separate themselves from the dollar dominance, So this article by First Post is actually very interesting. Dumping the dollar, will a new BRICS currency replace the US currency for trade? Then the article starts off, the BRICS collective compromising Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa is working on a common currency in an attempt to ditch the US dollar and push back against America's dominance. The move comes as Moscow and Beijing call for a de-dollarization in the face of Western sanctions, meaning that the U.S. is sanctioning too much and taking too much control or having too much control over finance of these major countries that no longer want to participate in the sanctions that the U.S. governs over them. If this succeeds, it's our own worst fault, our own nightmare. We don't want to have a situation where our dollar is devalued. So the U.S. needs to come up with something. Then the article goes on to read, the US dollar has been the official currency for international trade for years now. However, in recent time, there has been talks of creating a new currency in an attempt to dump the dollar and push back against American hemorrhaging. This de-dollarization has received boost in recent times, especially after the Russia-Ukraine war began last February. And last week, the movement received further impact when Alexander Bakov, a deputy chairman for the State Duma, was quoted as saying that the BRICS nations are in process of creating a new medium of payments established on a strategy that does not defend the dollar or euro. Is the BRIC nation actually creating a new currency for trade? Who's at the forefront of the movement? Will it benefit India? There are several questions to this issue and we try to answer them all. So they're bringing some kind of questioning as to what's going to happen with this dollar. Who's going to be the front runner? They're going to make an actual new currency and unify all together and then ditch their currencies and start all over again. We do know that many of these countries are starting to buy gold, and let's take a look at that. So we have this article by Kitco. Countries are using gold to rebel against the US dollar as BRICS influence grows. While many analysts maintain that the US dollar's demise trend is exaggerated, Rockefeller International Chairman Bashir Sharman warned that many countries are accelerating the search for an alternative reserve currency, and gold at its center of the conversation. So a lot of countries are trying to evade the US sanctions. They're tired of it. They're tired of US using the finance to control what countries do and can do. People and countries are tired of these sanctions, so we need to stop them or levy them or become a little bit more passive with the sanctions. The U.S. needs to be calmer when sanctioning other countries. We need to not always get involved in everybody's business. However, we continue to read in the article, gold is up 20% in 6 months. Surging demand is not led by the usual suspects. Investors large and small seeking a hedge against inflation and low real interest rates instead. The heavy buyers are central banks, which are sharply reducing their dollar holding and seeking a safer alternative. So these countries are buying gold, a real world asset, instead of the credit of the US dollar as a hedge. Now let's be for real. These other countries are going to do their thing. Will it deflate the dollar all the way down to zero? No, I don't think so. These countries also depend on us on buying their commodities and real assets. They need us as much as we need them. But we need to be more calm in regards to how we sanction these countries and not get involved in everybody's business. We need to slow this down. The dollar is not going to deflate to nothing. We're not going to lose a dollar. It's not going to crash. I think we're pretty safe. We are the world buyers of everything, and we are not going to lose that status. If we do, other countries do fall. They do not buy and will not buy as much items, commodities, resources as the US does. We're the mother of buying everything. So although there's a lot of fear and panic in regard to the subject, I would not worry but so much. But if you are concerned, there are other hedges. I truly believe in crypto. Bitcoin is definitely one of them. There are many countries that are getting involved in cryptocurrency at this time. Not financial advice, but it is a good alternative. So is the US attacking cryptocurrency and refusing to regulate it? I would say yes, they are. There is a strong push not to regulate cryptocurrency and try to drive the market out of the US, kind of force it down, but that's not happening right now. No matter how hard Gary Gensler, the SEC, and also the FUD that's happening or has happened within the crypto market, it has flourished. It has prospered and it continues to grow no matter what, because it is a world asset. It is involved throughout the whole world. Lack of cryptocurrency compliance is SEC's fault, says Republican lawmakers. So a slew of Republican lawmakers have grilled and made Gary Gensler very nervous under the seat at the Senate not too long ago in the hearing, and he deserved it. He didn't want to have clear-cut answers to the questions that were given to him. He kept running around them and would not be concise in his response. It was continuously rhetoric and clear and cut answers, but he gave them and didn't want to answer. Now, we do know that there's pending litigation between various crypto projects in which could, if he answered, feather the law to go a different way, or the judge to make a different decision than what the current SEC chairman and his party is fighting against with crypto. But I do believe that the law will prevail. I don't believe that most of what Gary is saying or the SEC is fighting on, the position that they're fighting on, is actually true. Let's see how the law plays out. It's coming very soon that the SEC's fight with XRP, the number one project right now in the courts, will be virtuous. Let's see how XRP handles that. So as the SEC is mounting attacks against crypto projects and exchanges, Coinbase decided to file action against the SEC and is suing them right now for non-regulatory clarity. So although the article is not intensively long, I'm just going to read some sections of it. You can read the rest of it. I'll have the link in the description. Crypto exchange Coinbase filed suit against the Securities and Exchange Commission on Monday, asking the regulator to be forced to publicly share its answer to a month-old petition on whether it would allow the crypto industry to be regulated using existing SEC framework. The July 22nd petition asked the SEC purpose and adopt rules to govern the regulation of securities and are offered and traded via digitally native method, referring to digital assets like cryptocurrency. And as of yet, since then, they have not responded, and Gary Gensler continues to run around the answer of what is a security and what is a commodity. He's constantly now saying that almost everything is a security and that nothing in cryptocurrency more or less is a commodity, with the exception of Bitcoin. Then the article goes on, the SEC did not offer specific purpose to Coinbase petition, but in recent months has aggressively ramped up enforcement action and warning against digital exchanges, including Coinbase. And today we filed a narrow action in the U.S. Circuit Court to compel the SEC to respond yes or no to a rulemaking petition we filed with them last July, asking them to provide regulatory guidance for the crypto industry. And the SEC is refusing to give regulatory clarity. Why would they not? This is their job. This is what they're supposed to do within the scope of the law. Give regulation and clarify the issues that are going on within this industry. It just goes to show that there is something behind the scenes that the SEC is mounting or wanting to do such as try to defrack or mess with the crypto industry and kind of push it out of its reach. But that's not going to happen. This industry has flourished behind all type of atrocities, all type of mayhem. It has continued to grow. It has continued to manifest itself as a dominant asset class. From the SEC's public statement and enforcement activity in the crypto industry, it seems like the SEC has already made up its mind to deny our petition, but they haven't told the public yet. So the action Coinbase filed today simply asks the court to ask the SEC to share its decision. This is forcing them and compelling them to come to the court and say exactly what they have to say. Now, if they make a decision against crypto, it's a fight. They have decided, they made a decision, and now we can go against them because they have to prove to the court that what they're saying goes against the Howey test. And there's 4 prongs to the Howey test. I won't go into detail in this video right now, but they would have to prove that with every crypto asset that they're considering to be a security. If not, then it's definitely a commodity and should be regulated by another entity. So I have a link of this article in the description. You can read the whole article. It's not a long read, but it would be interesting for you to take a look at and get more educated and well-versed in what's going on. So the SEC has made a prolific stance and even boast about its actions that it's taken thus far in the crypto industry and the Security Exchange Commission's scope on all type of actions that they have pushed forth in the courts, enforcing these small crypto companies to fork over millions of dollars in funds. Let's take a listen to Gary.
We're working to update rules to best meet our times. We're seeking to make our markets more efficient and competitive. That means better returns for you and lower costs for issuers. We made proposals to do so in the stock market and the ever-growing private funds market.
So I stopped the video there because it's a complete contradiction to what he's actually doing. They're asking, demanding, requesting, begging, pleading for regulation in this market for us to make us safer investors, to make us more protected investors, especially in the US. And we're not getting anywhere with Gary and the SEC. Other countries that are having the same prong test as we do, very similar to whether something's a commodity or security, are saying that these assets are commodities, not securities, as Gary's saying. But there is another video that's been floating around. I'm going to play it in a second. Take a look. It actually contradicts everything the SEC is going after right now. So this video is a couple seconds long. Take a look, listen to it, tell me what you think, and make your own opinions. Leave it in the comments, spread the word, share this video. Let's put Gary under pressure.
So we already know in the US and in many other jurisdictions that 3/4 of the market are not ICOs or not what would be called securities. Even in the US, Canada, and Taiwan, the 3 jurisdictions that follow something similar to the Howey test that we've talked about, 3/4 of the market is non-securities. It's just a commodity, a cash crypto. So you'll hear debates.
So you hear Gary say these are not commodities, these are not securities, they're commodities, 3/4 of them. But meanwhile, he's on the record right now publicly saying that these are securities. He's saying that publicly. He's going after these projects, these companies. He's pushing innovation out of the US. He's pushing it elsewhere. It's going abroad. It's not staying here where me and you could benefit from this, where we can grow and make this ecosystem more vibrant right here in our country within our borders. He's pushing it out. Meanwhile, contradicting himself while teaching in an MIT class, saying that 3/4 of them are commodities and they're safe and they're okay and there's going to be debate. Now he's the one debating and contradicting himself. This will go on public record at cases. I'm sure XRP is loving this right now. They're going to use this against the SEC in their litigation with them at this time. And due to the lack of uncertain regulations and the SEC's refusal to give us any, we're losing crypto firms, we're losing exchanges, they're going to go abroad. We need to write to our senators, congressmen, our politicians, all of them, and tell them we need regulation. We need Gary Gensler to give us something, or we need laws passed by the Senate and signed into law in which will force the SEC to do what they need to do. This right now is appalling and uncalled for. Let's band together and make our government do the right thing. They are doing it for our best interest, not theirs anyway. So let's get together. Let's make the movement. We need crypto regulation. This will make our ecosystem 10 times more vibrant. We need US regulation. It's a must. Most finance companies, investment firms are here in the US. There's tons of them. And they won't touch crypto assets until we have some type of clear-cut regulation. Let's get involved. Call your senator, call your congressman. Let's make this movement happen. Thank you for watching the video all the way to the end. Appreciate you. If you like the content, hit that like button. If you want to get notified, hit that bell notification. Support your boy, subscribe to the channel. Join us in Clubhouse. The link's in the description. Saturday and Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Black Star, light in the darkness. Peace.